Peace and blessings, everyone. This is your girl, Queen of Pentacles 1111, and I am back with yet another pick a card reading. This message is to you coming straight from your spirit guides, letting you know what you need to stop, start, and continue doing in 2020 to make the year 2021 abundant. If you're interested, please keep watching. Peace, family. While I shuffle the cards for our reading, here's a little disclaimer from the Queen of Pentacles 1111 herself. And that disclaimer goes out to all the negative Nellies out there who choose to spread hate and negativity down in the comment section. My advice to you is don't waste your time. Yeah, because I am way too protective and way too loyal to my tribe of like-minded souls. I consider this our safe haven, and any negativity will be blocked and deleted with the quickness. So don't bother waste your time. But for my real ones out there, you know who you are, and you know I've got your back. So come through, come vibe with me, and let's lift this veil together. I'll see you on the other side. Peace. For those of you who are new to Tarot Pick a Card readings, here's some advice when choosing your piles. Try to clear your mind, close your eyes, take a deep cleansing breath, open your eyes, and let your intuition be your guide. Choose your pile, and the timestamps will be listed down below in the description box. We'll see you for your readings. Peace and blessings, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. For those of you who chose pile number 1, this first Golden Queen of Pentacles, this is your reading. So what I did was, I got the idea of stop, start, and continue from a tarot reader that you can find online called Biddy Tarot, and she is amazing. She also offers a lot of tarot classes. I've taken quite a few of them actually, and she helps to really break down the meanings of the tarot cards in a really kind of simple and comprehensive type of way. So this was her idea, the stop, start, and continue. So I thought I would just borrow it for this reading because it's the easiest way to kind of put into perspective things that we need to do to bring in a more prosperous and abundant 2020. Okay, so we're going to start with the tarot cards like we usually do. So I'll put these to the side. So the first card is going to be what you need to stop doing. And then what you need to start. Hope you can see it. And what you need to continue. All right, so the first card is what you need to stop doing. So the Two of Swords usually talks about someone who is struggling to make a decision. She can't decide either or either. She has her eyes closed. In some of the tarot decks, her eyes are actually blindfolded. But in this one, her eyes are merely closed. But what this card is trying to say, instead of maybe in the past you were making your decisions with your heart only and not your head, or maybe your head only and not your heart. Now, this card is trying to tell you to not only to merge both your head and your heart when you're making just your decisions, but as you can see in this card, she has the, her third eye is well open. I don't know if it's focusing. Let me check. Her third eye is open, and if you can see in the background, there is a crescent moon, which is usually telling you to use your intuition. So instead of being a little bit out of balance, which you may have been in the past, maybe with this year, it's been kind of a heart-wrenching year for a lot of people because you know, we haven't been around our families, we can't go and visit people we love. So it's really tugged at our heartstrings a lot in this year that has passed. So I think a lot of people are making decisions from a place of kind of like fear and hurt and those types of emotions. But going into 2021, the best thing to do is to kind of try and merge the two. Take whatever is hurting you or causing you kind of unrest emotionally, and add in the mind now some intellect, and say, okay, fine, I understand and I embrace, I receive the fact that I'm upset and my heart is hurting about the situation. Maybe you've lost a job, maybe, you know, the money that you usually get from your job has been cut in half, and you're trying to think how you can provide for your family, which is a heart-wrenching thing to deal with. So instead of having to worry about that with just coming from an emotional standpoint, bring in the intellect and start thinking of different ways that you can make your situation a better one, and not such a, you know, causing such conflict in your life. So try and merge the two. Once you merge the two, your heart and your head, then comes the intuition. When those two are in balance, then it will become easier for you to tap into your intuition, which will help you make your decisions and help you maneuver throughout 2021. I think maybe in this 2020, it kind of caught everybody off guard what was going on. But in 2021, I think everybody's going to go into the new year with a sense of preparedness, in a sense. Meaning, like, yes, things are still up in the air. Some people don't know what they're going to do for a job or even a place to live, paying their rent or their mortgage. But still, we know what we're up against. It's not a surprise anymore. So this card is just making us aware that it is a good time for you to kind of try and balance yourself. A good way to balance yourself is to ground yourself. How do you ground yourself? You do things that make you feel centered and whole. You can meditate. You can keep crystals around you. Here I have the white howlite crystal. You can do sound meditation, you know, with a singing bowls, those types of things. Or you could just even do things like dancing, or be creative, paint, go out in nature, things that make you feel at peace and make you just take a sigh of relief and a cleansing breath, and makes you think more clearly. So that is what you need to start doing, trying to merge your intellect, your heart, and your intuition when you are making your decisions. What you need to start doing, what you need to stop doing, stop, and continue. What you need to stop doing, as you can see here for the stop, we have the 9 of Cups, which is reversed. On it says, I trust in the flow of life. So what you need to stop doing, from what I see here, usually the 9 of Cups, when you get it upright, it's usually a sign of, like, you know, like a gift, good luck, that type of thing. Meaning, for me, that's what it represents anyway. I think that's the traditional meaning. I'm not quite sure. But for this reading, what I see is, as you can see, like, you see the cups look like they're spilling out everything that's inside. The water usually symbolizes kind of emotions, right? So what you need to stop doing is kind of not trusting in yourself and not trusting in your abilities. You need to believe that what you're feeling is valid. You need to understand that. Okay, so the second card you have here, this is what you need to stop doing. This card is the 9 of Cups in reverse. On the 9 of Cups, this little write-up that you have here, it says, I trust in the flow of life. So right away we see that what you need to stop doing is hesitating and doubting, and not just doubting life, because it says you trust in the flow of life, but doubting in yourself and your abilities, what you're capable of, your talents. You need to stop doubting in that. Usually when another thing that I'm getting from this card is that, okay, when the card is upright, it usually speaks about, you know, like a dream come true, wish come true. You're almost at your 10 of emotional fulfillment, but you still have a little ways to go. So it's a really positive card. But as we can see here, when it's reversed, you can see that it's like almost like the contents that are inside of these cups are being drained, right? Like are being spilled. So let's say water is in there, and water usually represents emotions. That's just kind of showing that you're being drained or you've been feeling drained. Also, what it makes me think of is, if we take a different spin on it, it could be that it's a sign that instead of looking like outside of yourself for your happiness, you should actually look within. So see, the emotions are being drained. Now, if you turn it back upright, you can fill your cup. So instead of looking to things like, I'm thinking material things like, money, cars, house, those types of things that can be replaced for your happiness and feeling fulfilled, a sense of fulfillment based on what you have. Maybe if you go within, which brings us back to this card here, kind of balance yourself, ground yourself, take some time away from those types of things, because those things are really what is distracting you in your day-to-day life, and that makes complete sense. You have to worry about material things, especially in this year when we all fall on hardships. The main thing that usually causes us issues and difficulty is a lack of material things, money, those types of things. But money issues will always be there, right? And money will always be there to be made. So instead of feeling like you've made it, if you have this type of car or you have, this amount in your bank, and then you end up feeling kind of empty at the end of the day, go within and get your comfort and your strength and your feelings of accomplishment based on what kind of person you've become, the growth that you've made emotionally, as opposed to acquiring material things. Sometimes when we want to pursue, our dreams and we want to get to a certain level in life, which completely makes sense, we kind of neglect the other things that are in our lives, like our family. Let's say you want to work to get that promotion, you're working your butt off, which makes sense, but your children are missing out on spending time with their parents because you're, pushing so hard to get that promotion. That makes sense, but all we're being shown here is that you need to find a balance, a happy balance, where everybody will benefit and nobody feels like they're basically being given the shaft, right? We don't want that. So these two cards here, the Two of Swords and the Nine of Cups, are showing you that balance in 2021 is very, very important. Everything on a worldwide scale has been kind of thrown out of whack. Now 2021 is the year to apply everything that you've learned and apply it in a balanced way, right? We can take out some of the fear. The fear is still there for a lot of people, I understand that, but we can also put the fear to the side because it will always be there, and try and rationalize it, balance yourself, breathe, and go from there. Look at what's important in your life, right? See where you've been maybe spending more time on one aspect of your life as opposed to the other. And something you need to continue. So for continue, we have this card here, which is, can you see it? Yes. It says New Beginnings, and it's in the traditional tarot, it's the Fool card. And in this card, we see this woman who is embarking on what seems to be a new journey. She's not really looking where she's going. She's just looking ahead. And at her feet, she has the world at her feet. She's closed a door to her past, and she is walking with not too much, actually. It's not like she has a big knapsack on her back and running shoes for a long trek. She's actually in sandals, and she's got this little tiny sack on her back. But she doesn't look afraid. She looks very confident, and she looks very secure in who she is and what she can accomplish in her life. So when you balance yourself and kind of go within to find your happiness, as opposed to finding it in outside material things. Once you do those things, and that's something you can work on in 2020, there's not that much time left, but I mean, you can start and go into 2021 feeling like, okay, I can handle this, I can do this. I don't know where I'm going exactly, but I'm just going to let my intuition be my guide. And that brings us back to the Two of Swords and this crescent moon here that's telling you to use your intuition to the fullest. Your intuition, meaning like your gut feeling. When you have that kind of feeling that's telling you like, okay, maybe I shouldn't go this way, I'll go that way. Listen to your gut, right? So that's what she's doing. She's on her trek, just as you will be in 2021, very well prepared. And it looks like she's so self-assured from within. She's not worried about the material things like we saw in the Nine of Cups, the reverse Nine of Cups, that are telling you not to worry too much about material things. Worry about your inner knowing, your confidence, your intuition. So basically trust in yourself. All right, so we're going to go to the Oracle cards now. We'll start with these ones. I'll just put them down as I go. Guys, this is a different setup this time, so forgive me. I'm still getting used to it. The first one says, trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? And that is just exactly what we were saying here with this card here, New Beginnings. Trust your path, trust your intuition, trust your capabilities and your talents. Don't let your emotions run away with you. Don't think too much with your head either, because that's out of balance, that's out of whack. You should be trusting your path and knowing that you are fully supported by your spirit guides, by the spirit realm, those ancestors who have your back and want to see you win. The question is here, if you knew you would be supported, what would you do? So that's telling you to kind of think of your wildest dreams, whatever it is you would love most in this life, and go out and achieve it. Once you've balanced yourself and you've done the hard work, you cannot fail because you are well supported. So go out there and grab the world by the horns. Okay, the next card says, you're already doing it. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north. Okay, so basically what they're trying to say is you already have all the tools. You have all the tools to achieve whatever it is you want in life. You need to balance, but the stuff that you need to balance is already within. So it's not like you need to go and learn something, right? You are already well equipped with whatever it is you need. So you balance yourself, go within, appreciate who you are as a person. You don't need to get distracted with outward things in life, like material things. Yes, those are wonderful things, but they can also be very distracting things. And you need to trust in yourself. The next oracle card says, all greatness teeters on whether a would-be hero overcomes the terror within and advances regardless. Wow. Okay, so this card is telling us, yes, you're going to be afraid to start any new beginning, to start on a new path. The fear will always be there. That's a natural thing. But the point is, we need to figure out, we need to make a choice. Are we going to stop because of the fear? Are we going to let fear paralyze us and keep us stuck in one place forever? Or are we going to balance that fear with our intellect and our intuition and embark on a new beginning and trust your path and trust your ancestors and those who have your back? Trust in yourself and know that you are already doing what needs to be done. This will be nothing new to you. You are already well equipped with whatever it is you need to succeed in life. You just got to apply it. So this card says, without self-mastery, we are slaves to fear, impulse, and conformity. With self-mastery, joy, greatness, and transcendence are ours. So that goes right back to all of the cards, basically. It's telling you, basically, you know what? You want to delve into self-mastery? Absolutely go for it, but you need to erase fear. You need to be sure of who you are. Because if you're not sure of who you are, then you become slaves, like it said, to fear, impulse, and conformities. Basically, you will be so scared you don't want to move, and you'll stay in the same box, the same situation you are in for the rest of your life, because you're too scared to maybe fail or to look different or strange. And, we don't have any time for that in 2021. I think we've seen in this past year how fragile life is and how unpredictable it can be. You need to go out there and pursue whatever it is you want in life while you still have time. Let's go to the next cards. We have exhaustion, divine helpers. What I feel from this card is that your spirit guides are basically here just letting you know that, yes, you may feel exhausted, and, embarking on a new journey, a new endeavor can be quite scary, and that can make you feel kind of run down and tired from, like, it's tiring trying to gather yourself and balance yourself and get in touch with your intuition. Like, that's hard work. That is exhausting, but you have your divine helpers who are with you, cheering you on the whole way. So no matter how tiring it is, and yes, it will be tiring, it's well worth it. As you can see here, I hope you can see that. Yes, as you can see here, there's a long pathway here that this person is walking on. And wherever their destination is, we probably can't even see it in the picture, but it looks like it's pretty far away. But it's still a journey that's worth embarking on, because the destination will be that much sweeter. What I'm getting from this reading right now is a lot of journeying, going on a path. So I'm thinking it's like starting a new endeavor, maybe a new creative project, maybe even moving. Maybe not to a different country because of how things are going, or moving to a different part of, your city. I feel a lot of movement here, and I also feel that no matter what you choose to do in 2021, you will be so well supported by your spirits and your angels and your guides. Yes, in the spiritual realm, but also in the earthly realm as well. You'll be getting a lot of help along the way from your earthly angels and your friends and your family. You seem like you will be well supported no matter what it is you want to embark on in 2021. So erase the fear, because there's no failure. There's no failure here. Then we have here environment. See, so like we look here, I just said maybe you'll be moving homes, moving cities, maybe moving countries if that's allowed in 2021. Your environment is everything. Like I spoke earlier about grounding yourself, going out in nature. That's another thing. Nature is amazing that way. It helps to silence and quiet the mind. And just taking the sounds, the birds chirping, the leaves rustling, or anything out in nature that keeps you calm, cool, and collected to be able to make wise decisions. That's a way of grounding yourself. And then I see the 4 here. We have the 44. 4 is usually talking about stability and those types of things. So that's what you'll be looking for in the year 2021, and that's what you will receive. This card, I know this is not the same card, but this card reminds me of another card in the tarot deck where it's like you're moving and you're leaving to greener pastures. That's what I feel like for this reading is you need to balance yourself, absolutely, your intuition, your intellect, and your heart. Gather yourself, ground yourself, do the inside work out, because you are going to be making a change. You're going to be moving either house or job or going on some kind of journey. Even if it's not a physical journey, it can be an emotional journey, it can be a spiritual journey. But we see a lot of talk about paths and new beginnings. Like most of the images on these cards show like being outside in the wilderness and movement, those types of things. And the people are usually by themselves in the pictures. So that's something to think about. Not when I say by yourself, I don't mean that you're going to be by yourself in 2021. I mean that this is something that needs to be accomplished from within. You need to do the work on you, the shadow work, all of that type of stuff, and gather yourself and move and move and get moving. So here's the next oracle card. It says sharing of yourself. My camera's not focusing. It says, I am an incredibly generous being. Sharing of yourself. For this reading, sharing of yourself is sharing of yourself with yourself. So this is an inside job. It says, and I'm an incredibly generous being. That could be something that is the result of you balancing your head, your heart, your intellect, your intuition, and realizing that you're supported no matter what it is you want to do in life. So maybe you want to open up an orphanage. Maybe you want to get into more more charitable causes. More charitable causes. And, you're being well supported. So the only way you'll be able to do these things and give of yourself is by first balancing yourself. This last card here says Golden Palace. Once again, we see the crescent moon here in the corner. We have the number 23, which ends up being a 5, which means change. The crescent moon refers to intuition. And we have the Golden Palace. The Golden Palace to me sounds like the final destination, right? The prize. So when you're going on a journey, yes, the destination is important, but the journey, like they say, it's all about the journey, what you've learned. But still, even though it's all about the journey, the destination, once you've worked hard and you busted your butt and you've done all the hard work, the destination is just as sweet. So this reading is, I'm getting a lot of movement. There's nothing stagnant about this journey. So in 2021, things are going to be happening. I know a lot of people felt very stagnant this year because you just had to sit at home and stay there. 2021 won't be that way. Now we've figured out what's going on. Okay, what's plan B now? Like, what's next? What are we going to do to fix our situation? That's what I think this is saying. Just let go of the fear, let go of the doubt, trust yourself, go within, and figure out what's next. All of the creative things like that you've had brewing in your mind over the past year since you've had time to maybe sit and think, go for those things. Now is the time to go for them. It may be a journey. Doesn't mean it's not going to be hard. It's not going to be easy. But you are well supported. Your spirit guides are supporting you. Should be no fear. Erase the fear because that will stop you dead in your tracks. Be like this woman here who's going on her new beginning, embarking on her new beginning, and she looks fearless. She's looking ahead. Doesn't matter to her what's under her feet, but we see it's the world. And she shut the door to the past. Move on and move on to that Golden Palace, whatever that means to you, whatever that success is to you. Move towards it. Don't get stuck. And the last oracle card we have here is 10, karmic completion. Okay, so 10 usually translates to a 1. So that suggests new beginning and embarking on just a new endeavor, something new. It just talks about newness, and we're talking about karmic completion. Can you see this? Karmic completion. So maybe in 2020, you've had to deal with a lot of hardship, a lot of difficult situations that maybe you've brought over from a past life. Or even if it's not anything you brought over from a past life, it's just a difficult time. Is that so hard to believe in the kind of crazy year we've had? It could have just been a difficult time that you've had where you've struggled with situations maybe that have happened in your past, or just struggled with a lot of fear and uncertainty, which can be quite traumatizing. Now that is over. We're starting at 1. We're starting at 1 and we're moving. We're getting our bodies moving. We're getting our minds moving and balancing ourselves and doing all the hard work first. that will give us the confidence and erase the fear and let us tune into our intuition so that we know that we have our guides, our angels, our ancestors there supporting us the whole way through. You will not fail. Don't let fear paralyze you. Do not try and conform, because this group is a non-conformist group. Absolutely. You are not a group of people who should be conforming to anybody's standards. This is an inside job, and it's a very personal one. So this is the end of the reading, group 1. I hope something I said resonated with you today. Your 2021 looks like it's going to be a very productive and groundbreaking one. So I encourage you to trust in yourself, believe in yourself, love yourself, follow your intuition, and go out there and conquer the world. Okay, thank you for listening. Peace and blessings to you all. Until next time. Bye. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. So for those of you who chose pile number 2, this is your reading. I decided to try something different this time with the idea of stop, start, and continue. I got that idea from Biddy Tarot. She's an amazing tarot reader, and you can find her on the internet. She also has lots of courses and stuff like that that she has to offer. I've taken quite a few, and this was a spread that she suggested. It's very simple and straight to the point, so I decided to kind of borrow that for this reading. Alright, so these are the things that you need to stop, start, and continue in 2020 to make your 2021 more abundant and more peaceful and more productive. Okay, so let's start with the tarot cards. The first card we have here is the King of Coins. Second card we have here is the Ace of Cups. Let's move them up. And the third card is Accelerated Motion. Okay. Alright. So this is what you need to stop, start, and continue in 2020 or now, because it's basically the end of 2020. So right off the bat, we're going to start with the King of Coins. The King of Coins usually speaks of things like abundance and hard work. If you think of a king and you think of the coin, you think of success, right? You think of leadership, someone sitting on their throne, just basking in their greatness. People are kind of in awe of them, in a sense. And in this card here, we have the turtle. On top of the turtle, we have the tree. We have roots. So it suggests to me that a lot of hard work, a lot of slow and steady kind of planning, strategizing, that type of stuff has been going on in your life. It could either be with your job. You've been working hard and planning and taking things really slowly, being very meticulous and maybe somewhat of a perfectionist. But you are succeeding as well. Or it could be in your love life. You've been taking your time with a relationship and nurturing it. Could be that as well. But I'm thinking more, this card is referring to your career. This is something you need to stop in 2020 into 2021. You've done the hard work. You've succeeded. As you can see, this King of Coins here, this turtle, he has the abundance, which is the tree. You could say it's the tree of life. He has everything. He has flowers. He has the sun. He has the stars. He has the moon. He has, anything that you could want. So he's worked hard. He's taken his time, hasn't rushed through anything, and achieved most of what he's wanted in his life. His shell is gorgeous. It can be his home, represented by a home, your home, all of those material things that you want in life. Maybe you've acquired them or you are well on your way to acquiring them. In 2021, what the spirits are asking you to do is to kind of slow down on that now. Okay, you've put the hard work in. You've done all of the toiling and, going over things, checking things twice, that type of stuff, putting in hard work every day, the grind, working, hours on top of hours to achieve what you want. Now it's your time to sit back and let the abundance come to you. Let it come to you so you're not so stressed or maybe missing out on the important things in your life, like your family, or just, milestones. Maybe now is the time to sit back and appreciate some of the milestones in your life. Like if you finally achieved that job that you wanted, that career, that promotion that you've wanted in your career, maybe you've achieved it now through hard work. Sit back on your throne and relax. Look around you, take in all of, everything you've achieved, what all your hard work has gotten you. Now is the time to kind of slow down and sit back a bit. What the spirit guides are telling you that you need to start is the Ace of Cups here. Let me hold it up for you so you can see. There you go. And the write-up on the Ace of Cups is, I welcome new love and trust what it brings. So the Ace of Cups, we're talking about love. We're talking about fulfillment. Your cup is full. It has one card there. So it can mean one of two things. It can mean that your cup is supremely full right now. Emotionally, you're on the way to, maybe you started a new relationship and you're feeling very full and very happy in that relationship. Or it could be that you started on a new endeavor of self-love. The write-up says here, I welcome new love and trust what it brings. So because this is a stop, start, and continue, it can suggest that you've already started these things. You've already started loving yourself in a very genuine and patient way, or you've started loving someone else in a very genuine and wholesome and patient way, unconditionally so. Or it could be that in 2021, that is what you will begin doing. Let's say you have a relationship that has started in 2020. In 2021, you will be able to embrace that relationship wholeheartedly without worrying maybe so much about other things, material things, your careers, buying a house, buying a car. Maybe some of you have bought a new car in the past year. Maybe you've changed locations in the past year. Maybe you've changed locations because of work in the past year, or maybe you've tried to start a new business in 2020, which a lot of people have done. So now is the time for you to concentrate on love and the heart and what brings you happiness, what makes your cup overflow. So 2021 should be a year of kind of savoring things that are going on around you, looking outside, smelling the roses, that type of stuff. We get the energy here of the tortoise or the turtle, and it's a very slow and sturdy and steady kind of energy. So take your time, embrace what comes. It says, I welcome new love and trust what it brings. Trust the new love, because the new relationships that you begin towards the end of 2020 into 2021 will be successful, long-lasting ones, especially if you're talking about self-love, because maybe you've worked so hard. Now is the time to actually start loving yourself and taking yourself for a pedicure. Maybe you have more money to do that. Readily available to you because you're more successful. You did get the promotion maybe in your job, so now you have more time, or maybe you have more money. Take yourself out, take yourself on a date in some capacity because of the way things are going now. But maybe the self-love is also, and if you're not in a relationship, self-love is the other relationship that you're going to be concentrating on. Then what you need to continue, this card here says accelerated motion. So here we see the King of Coins taking his time. The turtle was very slow and steady. That's cool. But now we're sitting back with that. We're letting the abundance come to us. Now we're talking about the heart, talking about relationships and emotions. This is when you need to speed forward. I'm not talking about foolishly speed forward and make crazy mistakes. What I mean by speed forward is don't let anything distract you. Don't let any obstacles get in your way. If you are on a journey towards self-love, then you need to head forward and keep your head down and focus on that. If you're in a new relationship, then you need to focus on that relationship. Don't let friends or anybody else distract you from your feelings for that person. As you see here in the 8, the accelerated motion, We have someone looking to the sky. We have the shooting star. So a shooting star usually represents wonder and dreams and those types of wonderful, whimsical type of things that we always think about that bring us joy. It's like something you want to grasp, but you know you'll never be able to. And it's such a rare thing. So that makes me think of love, unconditional love, genuine love. Those are rare things, especially nowadays, but it's something that we all yearn for. So what you need to continue to do is be open to love and trust that what is coming in your life is for you and it is for your betterment. Any relationships that you get into in 2021 should end up being either very successful and long-lasting, or you learn a lot from the relationship, and that doesn't have to be in a negative way either. Okay, so let's go into the oracle cards and see what else we can learn from 2021. All right, Gentle Gardener is this card. And it's the number 2. All right, so this goes back to the King of Coins here. A gentle gardener is somebody who is taking their time to nurture, has taken their time to nurture, you know, the fruits of their labor and taking the time to build something. I'm thinking it looks like from scratch here. So now the oracle card is telling you to kind of ease back. Be gentle now with your gardening, in a sense, with what you're bringing, like the seeds that you sow, what you're bringing into fruition. Take your time. It doesn't need to be as labor intensive. You don't need to spend as much time as you have in the past. Like I said before, now is the time to kind of sit back and chill. As you can see here in the card, we have an elder, an ancestor, should I say, looking down on the gardeners, and we're getting the sense that you are being supported. You're being supported by those who are in the spiritual realm, and they are telling you, be gentle with yourself, be gentle with your endeavors. You don't need to spend so much of your, give so much of your energy and your time. You can actually sit back and enjoy. The next oracle card is saying, simplify your life. I cherish the simple pleasures of life. Okay, that's exactly what I just said here with the King of Coins. They're just telling you that you need to sit back and relax. Look around you, like I said, smell the roses, look at the trees, look at things that you would have not even noticed before, or maybe not, or just passed by on your way to work, or on your way to achieve something. You know, we get so caught up in the day-to-day goings on that we miss the beautiful things in life, little things usually that have to do with nature, or even our families, you know, our children, the things that they do or say. You know, we're so focused on providing for them that sometimes we overlook the beauty and the treasure that's staring us right in the face. So this card is telling you just to relax and take a few, like, not to neglect your work completely, because you still want to be successful. You still want to provide for your family, but maybe on the weekend, sit back and sleep in, or maybe on the weekend, binge watch something on Netflix or something. Take your time and give to yourself to be able to have the energy to continue to provide and achieve all of your goals in life, because you seem very goal-oriented. The next oracle card says invention, creativity guides. So this also goes back to the King of Coins. What I get is that you have been trying to maybe start your own business in a creative way. So like a writer, or a singer, a tarot reader, a Reiki, you know, practitioner, someone who is doing something that is like you have to start from scratch. You have to give a lot of yourself, and it can be very depleting and very draining, but it's something that you can't rush through, so it needs your attention. But we have, you know, the word guides, and it's the number 26, which leads us to an 8, which if you're a life path 8, which you could be, this seems like a life path 8. You know, you're a hard worker, and money and those types of things are very important to you. So I see here creativity guides. You see the hands are painting the picture. Just once again validates that you are being supported by your, I feel like it's an ancestor, to be honest, and an elder, someone who's older than you. We have the picture here. We also have the turtle, which usually speaks of wisdom and age. We have this oracle card here that says we are to be radiant, grateful, buoyant people. Yeah, so just, and that brings us to the cup here, the Ace of Cups, that says, I welcome new love and trust what it brings. This card is telling you to be radiant, grateful, and buoyant. Buoyant meaning you can float and you just flow with whatever life is dishing out to you. Not that you just take a bunch of crap and you accept it. It's just that you don't fight as hard. You don't fuss as much. You kind of go with the flow. And that goes back to the King of Coins as well. Be grateful, like cherishing the simple pleasures of life, and you will be radiant when you get the time to take in things like nature and appreciate the small free things in life that you can't go and buy in a store. You know, when you get to appreciate those things, you yourself become radiant. Also, it goes back to the idea of self-love. Whether you're in a relationship or single, you still need to have a certain amount of self-love to have a successful relationship with someone else, or to be, have a successful relationship with yourself. Self-love should always be the first love. This oracle card is a long one. It says here, the great joys in life come when we are spontaneous and authentic while engaging in activities we care about. And the great miseries come when too many days stack up where we are conforming and posing while doing things we have no passion for. So this also, it just makes me think of work. Sometimes, whether you're passionate about what you're doing or you're not passionate about it, sometimes just doing the same thing over and over again can become very monotonous, and the spontaneity in your life disappears. So at the end of the day, yes, you may achieve that promotion that you want, or even start the business successfully that you want, but then you kind of have lost yourself. So the balance is not there. So that's why the cards are telling you to, yes, you've achieved, or you will soon achieve. The abundance will soon start to flow. Now is the time to balance that out. Get in touch with yourself. Start to love yourself. Allow your cup to overflow in 2021. Later on in 2021, once you've done that work, in will come the relationship, a rare and beautiful love. We have the number here, 57 is the next oracle card, teaching and learning. I'm getting from this message that, and from this picture here, this card strikes me here because I think of an elder, I think of wisdom, and maybe if you need advice on how to approach what's going on in 2021, seek out maybe the elders in your community, in your family, and just listen to them talk. Sometimes you can get so many jewels from, our elders that we often overlook. They could actually be the simple pleasures in life, just speaking to your grandparent or an older aunt or uncle, or even your parents. Your parents are your elders as well, and get advice from them on maybe how you should proceed in your endeavors in 2021. You'll be surprised at what they can teach you. We often overlook them, and that's really a shame because they are a wealth of knowledge. Then we also have, there you can go, okay, surrender. So 9 and a 1 brings us to 10, and that brings us to 1. So that's almost like, starting fresh, beginning something new, maybe doing things differently than you've always done them for a long time since you've been trying to build your empire. It says surrender, and that's exactly what I was saying with the King of Coins. Take your time, sit back and relax, and let everything come to you now. You've put out the energy, now let the universe do the work and give back to you. This oracle card says, can you see? The ever unfolding rose cracks open. It's happening for you, not to you. Sometimes when you don't heed the warnings that are being given to you when you're working too hard or putting too much into something or overlooking people or the simple things in life, sometimes the universe will do something to actually slow you down or to stop you in your tracks and make you appreciate the simple things in life, make you take time to appreciate yourself or to love yourself. So instead of letting it get that far, you can take the initiative now and slow down and appreciate what's going on around you. It says here, it's happening for you, not to you. So taking time to slow down and not always being so goal-oriented. That's like a life path 8, very goal-oriented type money makers. That could be very, very exhausting. That could cause health issues if you're not careful. And you don't want it to get to that. So take your time, smell the roses, like I said earlier, and enjoy what nature has to offer. I keep saying nature, but I say life, really what life has to offer. The simple things, the free things. Those are the most important things in life. Things you can't buy with money. All right. And the last oracle card for your reading for the year 2021 is Warrior Woman. There you go. It says underneath, have you answered your deepest calling? So I think from this card we can see that you have worked very hard to achieve something in your life, but maybe that's not your deepest calling. Maybe that's something to provide for your family. Maybe that's something, yeah, if you wanted to start a creative endeavor and you've achieved that, yes. But maybe even that is not your deepest calling. Maybe it's this relationship that will be coming in 2021. How are you going to approach the relationship in 2021 if you are still so hyper-focused on making money or starting your business or getting a promotion, right? Endless nights, hours on top of hours doing your work. How are you going to concentrate on your deepest calling? Your deepest calling usually suggests things that are not going to make you money, but it's something that gives you the greatest satisfaction, like a soul satisfaction, something from the inside out. So have you answered your deepest calling? Are you ready to answer your deepest calling if you should happen upon it? And as you can see, there are more roses in this picture. This card also suggests a lot of strength. We can see that you are strong in nature. You've been strong throughout 2020 and focused and diligent and vigilant. And in 2021, we can use a little bit more of the loving, more fluid energy and a little less of the hardcore, strategic, rigid energy. So that is your reading, group number 2. I hope something resonated with you. It was a very interesting reading. And I pray that all goes well for you in the year 2020. Thank you for tuning in. Peace and blessings to you all. Bye-bye. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. For those of you who chose pile number 3, this is your reading. I got the idea of the Stop, Start, and Continue from Biddy Tarot. She is an amazing tarot reader. You can find her online. She has lots of courses that she does online, of which I've taken quite a few. And she just teaches tarot in a really kind of easy and comprehensible way. So it's something you should definitely check out. So she came up with this spread of the Stop, Start, and Continue, so I thought I would try it today. Okay, so this is something you should stop in 2020. Okay, this is something you should start in 2020, and this is something you should continue in 2020. Now, this doesn't have to be just 2020. It could be the beginning of 2021 as well. But we're looking towards making our year a more positive one compared to the one we had last. So what you should do, what you should stop doing. Sorry, we have the Fool card here. So the Fool card usually talks about kind of throwing caution to the wind and living a more carefree life type of thing. Usually in the traditional cards, the Fool is setting off on a journey with not much with them. They don't have a big suitcase. They don't have a bunch of luggage or a duffel bag, for their journey. They're just walking with a staff and basically themselves. It's just showing that the Fool card, the energy is that of throwing caution to the wind, having a carefree life, and just going wherever your heart leads you. So that needs to stop. The spirit guides are telling you in 2020 that maybe you were trying to find your footing. A lot of things were thrown up in the air in 2020, and people were kind of taken aback and thrown for a loop. Some people's lives were turned upside down. So maybe it left you no choice but to kind of set off on a new journey and find a new path. And that's fine. That makes complete sense. But now your spirit guides are telling you that you need to kind of take root somewhere, settle on something. Either it's on a place or a job or a career path, something to keep you a little bit more stable in your life. Next, we're going to go to something you need to start. We have the Hermit card here, which makes complete sense. The Hermit card says, I follow my own path. Let me focus this a little bit. There you go. I follow my own path. I follow my own path. That's the Hermit card. And that means that instead of being so carefree, maybe in the, after the lockdown let up, then everybody was out with friends, people you've missed, you haven't seen in a long time. Maybe now is the time for you to start to stay inside, keep to yourself a little bit, and think of a new path that you want to take, yes, but gather wisdom first. Gather wisdom first, figure out what it is you want to do, and the only way you can do that is by looking within. The outside noise and people, those are distractions for you. Now is the time to illuminate your own path through staying inside, keeping to yourself, doing things like meditating. As we can see here, this man looks like he's in deep meditation. And from what I see right away here, the theme that I see in this reading is one of a journey, a path. Now, this could be an actual physical path where you are finding a new job, a new home, leaving a relationship, or it could be a spiritual journey, one where you are gathering wisdom about yourself through your experiences in the year 2020 and before that. But the most important thing is that you continue to go within and illuminate your own path so that your year 2021 and years to follow will make more sense to you and they won't seem so erratic or chaotic. It will all start to kind of fall together once you actually sit back and gather your thoughts and center yourself, ground yourself. And the last card here, which is continue, which goes so well with the Hermit card, is the Wisdom card. It's number 5. So number 5 usually means, speaks about change. And the guides are really telling you that you need to change your approach a little bit to life and how you've been, dealing with things thus far. Like I spoke earlier about the path to illumination, we see there that this man here has gathered the wisdom. So it could seem like maybe at the beginning of 2021, you decide to go within and meditate and center yourself and, learn as much about yourself and your surroundings. Look at your past experiences in life. And the more you do that, you end up being this man here, who is in touch with his intuition. He carries his own life story and his experiences and maybe notes about what he's learned about himself or his life. He's had some kind of awakening. You can see the light here to his illumination is small. It's in a lamp and it's contained. But now when you see him here, let me hold the card up so you can see. Now when you see him here, He seems like he's obtained, reached that kind of wisdom that he was seeking here in the Hermit card. He has his dog with him, which is interesting because in the Fool, the traditional tarot deck of the Fool card, the Fool has a little dog with him. The little dog is almost look like it's trying to warn him in the traditional cards. But here now we have this dog is looking like he's looking towards his owner or his friend in wisdom, like he's going to lead him and tell him where to go. The man looks like he's well aware of where he should go. His path is well illuminated now, and it's bright for everyone to see. So if there's any kind of, maybe in 2020 you're feeling like you're kind of all over the place and you don't have anything stable or consistent in your life, now is the time, and into 2021, the beginning of 2021, where you should kind of slow down, go within, and by the end of 2021, your path, your calling, your purpose will be so clear to you. You'll know what direction you're headed towards. Okay, now we're going to look at some of the oracle cards. The first one, the first one is forgiveness. Okay, and the 96 turns into a 6, which usually deals with things like issues or topics like love and family, those types of things. And as you can see in this card here, the wisdom card, we have a family. It's almost like this man is going home to his family, who he had to leave to kind of figure out who he was. Maybe he went on a spiritual journey and now he's back, and his family, they're there to greet him. It doesn't necessarily have to be a physical journey where he's going back home. It could just be a spiritual or an emotional journey as well. And here I think of forgiveness, because once you go within and you begin to look at yourself, you need to get to wisdom. You have to be able to forgive yourself maybe for some of the things you've done in your past or during the year 2020 that you were not too proud of, or some of the reactions you've had towards your family, your behaviors that you were not necessarily too proud of. Now is the time to forgive yourself so you can gain some more wisdom, because not forgiving somebody blocks you from achieving your greatness. It doesn't block them. They continue on with their life regardless of whether or not you have forgiven them or not. So forgiveness is for you. It's for your well-being. So to erase a blockage, you need to forgive yourself, or you need to forgive others for what has happened that has caused you, hurt or made you feel unsettled or a little lost. The next oracle card we have here is, there you go, self-love. And self-love, the 61 here turns to a 7, which talks a lot about spirituality and those types of things. So that goes back to meditating, grounding yourself, just looking within. You don't even necessarily have to actually sit and meditate. You can just sit down and think. Think about things that you've done that you're proud of, things that you've done that you're not proud of, or things that you would like to achieve. And address them. But when you're addressing them, do it in a loving way towards yourself. You can't be harsh on yourself. You can't be impatient with yourself. You have to have genuine love for yourself to be able to forgive what has happened in your life and gain the ultimate wisdom and enlightenment to be able to have a prosperous and kind of stable and fulfilling 2021. But we're not just talking about 2021. We're talking about a lifetime. Right? But it starts in 2021. The next card we have here is Warrior Guides, competition. All right, so what I get from this is just telling you that there is no competition. There is no competition. Let's say there is no competition with anybody on the outside of you. You are your greatest competition. And you need to try and outdo yourself. So if you felt like in 2020 you weren't doing as best as you could, 2021 is the year to outdo yourself. Compete with the old you, right? In a healthy and wholesome way, of course, and still in a loving and graceful way with lots of mercy on yourself and lots of patience. But the main thing is that you are trying to better yourself. And that's what I get from competition. That's what I'm being told, is the competition is competing against your former self, your old self, right? The self that maybe has done things that you are not proud of, or maybe things that you know you could have done better. Now's the time to correct that. We have this card here that says, can you see? Savoring pleasure. And it says, I fully embrace bliss in my life. So savoring pleasure, that goes back to this Hermit card for me. It also goes back to self-love and forgiveness. Those are all cards that kind of talk about going within and being alone with yourself and loving on yourself, looking at, scrutinizing yourself in a sense, but through loving eyes. Treat yourself as, let's say, a mother would treat her child in a loving kind of way. You want better for that child, but the only way they're going to learn something is if you're patient with them. So you need to employ that same patience and self-love and gentleness with yourself. A way to do that, is like, if you look in this card here, for example, there's a bubble bath, there's candles, there's everything. There's flowers, there's candles, there's wine, there's desserts. These are images that are just telling us we all know what we need to do to relax and to feel pampered by ourselves. It's different for everybody, but you know what it is. You know what brings you that relaxation and that full feeling, where it just kind of calms you down. That's what you need to do more often. And so like this Hermit card, it shows somebody meditating, but it doesn't necessarily have to be meditating. For you, it could be, just doing things like, taking a spiritual bath, or burning candles, burning sage, embracing fire energy. Put on your candles, burn your sage, listen to music, have something to drink. It will help to calm your nerves and take away a lot of the distractions and the inhibitions that you have. And then you'll be able to, deal with yourself properly. This card says, encouragement. Like I just spoke of a mother and her child, loving this child and encouraging them like you would encourage a child to learn or to walk. A baby learning how to walk, you encourage them gently. You don't tell them, like, okay, give up, kid. You fell 5 times already. Too bad. You're not going to learn. You keep pushing them, no matter if it's 100 times. You keep pushing them in a gentle, loving way. When they fall down, you kiss their boo-boos, or you speak lovingly to them to help them, get rid of some of the fear and not feel ashamed of themselves. You want them to feel confident. All of these things that I'm just mentioning now is what you should be doing for yourself. And that should start now. And it should continue on into 2021. That's not something that should ever stop, because you should be always striving to better yourself. Like we said, competition should always be trying to always be trying to better yourself, and that should last in the years to come, far beyond 2021. And I feel like this 2021 for this reading is going to be about like just quieting yourself and sitting and observing, watching, listening, hearing, feeling, getting in touch with your intuition, with your spirit guides, your ancestors, those types of things. I feel like this will be sort of a spiritual awakening towards the end of 2021. But to begin with, you're going to get in touch with all those wonderful feelings, those good, mushy feelings for yourself. Love and patience, and you're going to get to know yourself in a real loving, wholesome type of way. Wow. Okay, the next oracle card is this one here. And it says, this day is to be enjoyed like a pause at a cool stream during summer's heat. There you go. This is just goes right back to savoring pleasure. It's telling you to enjoy like a pause at a cool stream during a summer's heat. It's something that will soothe you, something that you look forward to at the end of a long day of working or dealing with other energies. If you're empathic, for some reason I felt like saying that. If you're empathic and you've been dealing with all types of people, during the year, maybe you were going out, meeting people. As soon as your lockdown was over, maybe you just ran out quickly to go and, communicate and socialize because we were, boxed in for so long that you probably, if you are empathic or whether you're not, you got in touch with and interacted with lots of different energies. Now is the time to kind of concentrate on your own energy and to better your energy. And you do that by pampering yourself, but also by confronting yourself on a lot of the maybe not necessarily, wonderful things you've done throughout your life. The next oracle card says, life is meant to be a vibrant, deeply felt, growing mosaic of long, meaningful moments. Like I just said, it's like not just for 2020, not just for 2021, this type of stuff that you start now and continue into 2021 is something that will stay with you for a lifetime. It's just that 2021 seems to be the year of an awakening for you, an awakening of self-love, of like quietude, and just like enlightenment and bringing you to another level of yourself, a quieter, deeper level of yourself, or a version of yourself, should I say. The next oracle card says, the Age of Light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. Like, how many times are we going to see that word? Lifetimes. I love it. So you've been training for this for lifetimes. So slowly but surely, little bits and pieces of your ascension has been making themselves present in this lifetime and your other lifetimes. But now is when it will all come together. It seemed that 2020 was the year of your 2020 vision, where things became apparent. A lot of things became apparent to you, whether you realize it or not. It could have been on a soul level. And now 2021 is going to be the year where you actually do something about it. You take action now. That little spark that grew within you in 2020, 2021 is now the year that this spark will turn into this sun. It's a growing spark within. Wow, this is like self-actualization coming into being. Like, you start off with someone who, you see the sun and the Fool card is so far away. Then finally you captured some of that light in a lantern though, and you're just getting ready to know what that light is about. And then finally, there's the light staring you right in your face. It's like so bright. It's undeniable. So that will be your 2021 now, is actually to do something about that spark that grew in, or that was ignited in the year 2020. And the final card that we have, the final oracle card for this reading is Protection. It says, call back your power, cut the cords, soul retrieval. Protection. Like, look at these ladies protecting you. From what I understand and the feeling that I'm getting, I don't know, I'm just saying what I'm feeling, that I feel that you are protected by quite a few guides and ancestors who want the best for you. And I'm getting very feminine energy, very, very feminine energy. And I'm thinking that they're asking you as well to kind of leave behind some of the masculine energy that's more rigid and strategic and those types of things, and kind of start to embrace a little bit more of the intuitive, fluid, feminine energy, whether you're male or female. We're not talking about gender, we're talking about energy. Embrace some of that fluid energy for your 2021. And like they say, get in touch with your feminine side. That's exactly what you should do in 2021. Savor pleasures, get a pedicure, take a bubble bath, those types of things. Encourage yourself lovingly as a mother would encourage their child. So I'm getting a lot of feminine energy here, and very soft and gentle and fluid energy that will help you move towards your enlightenment. And enlightenment in life, but also enlightenment with regards to yourself. Oh, that was nice. Okay, so this is the end of your reading group 3. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope something resonated with you. You have a wonderful 2021 ahead of you. Please be safe, and thank you for tuning in. Until next time. Peace and blessings, guys. Thank you for tuning in. This is for those of you who chose pile number 4. This reading is about something you need to stop, start, and continue in 2020 or now to make your year 2021 a more positive one. I got this idea of stop, start, and continue from Biddy Tarot. She's online. She's a tarot reader, an amazing tarot reader, and she has lots of courses on how to read tarot and start up your own business online. I've taken quite a few of her courses, and this is her spread. So I thought I would use it for this year for this reading to kind of just make things really simple and to the point. No fuss, no muss. So let's get started with our reading. So we'll start with the tarot cards first. This card is something that you should stop in 2020 into 2021. We have this card here, which is the Ace of Cups in reverse. I don't know if you can hear me. Sorry, guys. It's the Ace of Cups in reverse. Okay, sorry, I was getting too excited. Okay, the second card is the Nine of Swords, and underneath this, the card says, I trust the present moment. And the last tarot card that you have is the card that says moving on. It's the number 6. So this is something you need to stop, this is something you need to start, and this is something you need to continue. What you need to start now in the year 2020, because there's not that much time left, and into 2021 to make your year a more positive one, talks about repressed emotions. Can you see this card? Yes. Talks about repressed emotions. And that's a wonderful thing, because it seems like that's what you are probably embarking on in the year 2020. I'm getting that you started to appreciate yourself a little bit more and appreciate others. However, it seems also that there are still some emotions that you are repressing that you don't want to deal with. Now, the Ace of Cups upright usually deals with relationships and romance and those types of things, but because it's reversed, it refers to the self and self-love. The flip side of that, the more negative side, I guess, of that is repressed emotions. So you're repressing emotions that with regards to yourself, but also with regards to other people and other relationships that you're in. It could be romantic relationships, but it can also be friendships as well. It could be family relationships. That's what I'm getting here. So the thing you need to stop doing is repressing your emotions. You need to get more in tune with your heart and feelings. Maybe it's probably the reason you're repressing the emotions, because more negative feelings that you don't necessarily want to address, maybe things like shame or things that you need to forgive yourself for, I'll say. So if you can unblock those negative kind of low vibrational feelings and address them, then you won't repress a lot of your emotions, and you'll have more fulfilling relationships, not just with others, but also with yourself. Secondly, here we have the Nine of Swords. It says, I trust the present moment. So this is something that you need to start doing. You need to start having trust in yourself. And maybe that's part comes, along with the emotional repression. So trust yourself, trust the moment, trust what you're going through is happening for you, not to you. Anything that's causing you anxiety and worry and insomnia, you can't sleep at night, you're racking your brain. If you're going to fix something that is causing you to lose sleep, trust yourself and trust that you will make the right decision. That is something that you need to start doing, because as of right now, it seems that you are not trusting in your ability to make good decisions or the right decision, but you usually do. As we can see from the Ace of Cups, it's like relationships and those types of emotional situations. You're pretty healthy and functional, I will say. You're not dysfunctional in those situations, but you do repress some of your emotions. You are functional, but you do repress some of the emotions that should be addressed to have a more fulfilling relationship with others and with yourself. And the last card we have here, this is something you need to continue, is the 6, and it says moving on. This is telling you that you need to continue to elevate and, yes, get in touch with the emotions that you are repressing. Deal with them. Those could be things that cause you a lack of sleep at night. Deal with them, embrace them, scrutinize them, get whatever you have to do, look into it and heal yourself from it. And once you trust, have trust in that moment that no matter how painful, no matter how scary or dark it is, it's for your well-being and it's for your betterment. And once you approach that in a healthy, wholesome, gentle way, then, and deal with it and heal from it and come to terms with whatever it is that's causing you anxiety or insomnia or mental anguish, then you can just move on. Have trust in what's happening in your life and move on. Number 6 in numerology usually talks about love, family, and the home. So it seems that whatever is causing you anguish could be at home, could be within the home, things that are causing you to lose sleep at night. It could be your relationship with the person you're with at home, maybe someone you're married to or living with, and maybe the relationship is not fulfilling you. Maybe it's causing you great stress, and now you need to trust in the moment, trust yourself, and figure out if it's something that you need to stick with or if you should keep moving on in 2021 to greener pastures, to kind of find a safer haven maybe for your mental well-being. Maybe that could be why you're repressing some emotions, because you're uncomfortable in your present living situation or love situation. Let's move on to the oracle cards here so we can get a little bit more clarity on what's going on. This card talks about, says, wishing well. All right, so trusting the present moment and wishing well seem to go hand in hand. Wishing, trusting, hoping, all of these things talk about having confidence in the universe, in your spirit guides, in your ancestors, in your intuition, right? That could be something, an emotion you're also repressing, is your intuition and your ability to make, like I said before, sound and wise decisions for yourself, especially in situations of love where it has to do with relationships. Could be romantic relationships, it could be relationships at home with the people you live with. Go within, think. Like when you wish something, you think of your greatest desires. This is what you need to do in the year 2020 into 2021. Think about what you want for yourself. Do you want to stick around in the situation you're in? Is it something that you can fix? Is it something that's worth fixing? Or is it causing you too much anxiety and stress? It's causing you to repress certain emotions or sides of yourself, stifle them because of your situation. Is it something that you need to move on from? We also have the 48, which ends up being a 3, and that talks about creation. So in 2021, it seems that maybe you will create a new life for yourself, a new normal for you, a healthier normal for you, where you feel safe and you feel proud of yourself. Like this card, the Ace of Cups, which speaks of self-love, it can also speak of repression. So we don't want the repression, we want the self-love only. So maybe if you kind of move on from the situation that you're in now, then that self-love can bloom and blossom, and you can show yourself to everybody and not feel fear or shame of any aspects of yourself. This oracle card says, receiving from angels, shimmering wings of angels, embrace me with love. So this is just telling you that whatever decision you make, if you do make a decision to move on, moving on can be kind of scary. It can be overwhelming. Especially if you're going at it alone, it could feel like, you're moving into kind of like uncharted territory here. You don't know what's coming at you, what to expect, how you're going to fare. Are you going to do well? Are you going to run back with your tail between your legs? You don't know. But this card is just telling you, I'm seeing that this reading is from your angels and could also be from your spirit guides. They're telling you that you're supported, you're embraced, and whatever decision you make, as long as you're trusting within yourself, you are going to make the right decision. And in 2021, you will find ease, you will find peace, and sleepless nights will be a thing of the past. The next oracle card is New Beginnings, Divine Father. Okay, so New Beginnings goes hand in hand with the Moving On card. So also with wishing well, it could be just that you're wishing the other people well who you're leaving behind. It seems like that is what will happen in 2021. Either some relationships will come to an end, or you'll move on from a situation that seems like it's holding you back, that's causing you unrest and mental anguish and maybe fear, anxiety, or depression, any lower vibrational energies. You will be moving on from that. Even could be a new way of moving on from an old way of thinking, an old way of dealing with your feelings that have not been serving you. 2021 is a year of shedding for this group. Shedding things that are just not working anymore, but not things that are only just not working, things that are actually hurting you or making you feel uncomfortable. You're now shedding those ways and those people, those environments, situations, those types of things, those feelings. The next oracle card is a long one, and it says, when we ready ourselves for our ultimate destiny, when we release our childish, selfish needs and realign our priorities to those of the heart, we can finally reach those magnificent fields of human empathy, kindness, compassion, forgiveness, generosity, and courage. All right, so this goes exactly here with the Ace of Cups. We're talking about repressed emotions. You need to kind of look within, do some shadow work so you can unlock all of these wonderful emotions that they said in this card here. Human empathy, kindness, compassion, forgiveness, I already spoke about that, generosity and courage. These things can also be towards yourself as well, right? You can unlock these things. Be kind to yourself. Have forgiveness towards yourself. Be compassionate towards yourself. Be courageous. Courage can be something that you need to move on from the situation that you're in right now. It can be that you need courage to even address what's causing you to have sleepless nights. It could be something you're hiding that you don't want people to know about, right? The next oracle card is This one says, I remember it always. Fear wins or freedom wins, and I choose freedom. All right, there you go. Freedom. Freedom from the sleepless nights. Freedom from anxiety. Freedom from worries, depression, fear, all of those types of things. 2021 is going to be the year when it stops. You will move away from those things either physically, or you will just kind of rise above it by doing a lot of shadow work, a lot of inner work, looking towards yourself and seeing what you can fix. Maybe you don't even know that you're like repressing emotions. Maybe you feel like you're pretty well in touch with yourself and how you deal with others. Maybe there is something that you're holding back that you don't even realize that is causing you mental anguish and like headaches and stress and all of those things. Maybe you need to just sit and listen to your intuition for a little bit, relax, and get in touch with yourself so you can see exactly what is making you afraid or holding you back or blocking you from achieving what it is you want to achieve in life. I'm talking about from a personal standpoint, actually, as a person. You want to be a certain type of person, but maybe there's a blockage there. Now is the time, 2020 into 2021, you are going to figure out what that blockage is. And towards the end of 2021, you are going to move on from a person, place, or thing, or from a way of thinking or bad behaviors, or just holding back your emotions. Okay, this oracle card says spiritual partnership. The 2 and a 7 gives me a 9, meaning you are almost there, baby. This is not going to take long. Halfway through or towards the end of 2021, you'll be golden. You will be settled. You will figure out either you'll be where you want to be or you will be in the process of getting there. Spiritual partnership. So spiritual partnership can be one of two things or three things. It could be your angels. That could be the partnership, that letting you know that they support you. It can be an actual partnership. Maybe you'll find a new relationship with somebody who it will be a deeper connection than you're in right now. Or you can actually, when you unblock all of the repressed emotions you're feeling, you can have a stronger relationship with the person you're with now. Or it can be the partnership can be with yourself, you getting more in touch with your spiritual side, embracing your intuition, trusting the present moment, and trusting your decisions to either move on or to stay for your betterment. The other oracle card says financial discipline. All right, financial discipline. We're talking about money. Trust your decision. Maybe this has to do a little bit with what's causing you unrest. Could have to do with your money. Have you been spending poorly? Or in the year 2020, have you had, financial hardships? Sorry, guys, if you hear noise in the background. My children are awake and they're making a lot of noise. I apologize. It could be, you've had financial hardships in 2020, like a lot of people have, losing jobs or having to scale back because you're getting paid half of what you were getting paid before. I mean, the list goes on, right? Towards the end of 2021, though, that will be rectified or on the way to being rectified. The next oracle card says boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? All right, so who is it that we need to have that conversation with? Is it somebody else or is it yourself? Do you need to set the boundaries for yourself, or do you need to set the boundaries with somebody else? That's for you to decide. It looks like it can be both, actually. When you find the self-love and get in touch with yourself and embrace yourself wholeheartedly, every aspect and facet of your being, then you can set proper boundaries with other people and teach them and tell them how to treat you and how to love you. Sorry about that. And the last oracle card that we have for group number 4 is this one. And it says Inner Temple, Devotion, Tune into the portal of your heart. devotion, inner temple. Yes, you are the temple. You need to get inside, go within. Look at that self-love I'm talking about. You need to deal with those repressed emotions. That will set off your 2021 on an upward, path, because right now it seems like you're making progress. You've made progress, but there's still some stuff that's kind of blocking you from achieving what you want to, emotionally speaking. And it's important stuff that's kind of nagging at you and bothering you. But if you see yourself as a temple, you know that you got to take care of it. You got to go within, be devoted to yourself, and tune into your heart. What is your heart telling you? What is your heart telling you? What do you need to work on? What are you holding back on? Is your relationship not working? Is it because you're holding back? Right? Is your relationship not working because you need to leave? It's something that you need to consider, but by the end of 2021, you will be clear. You will be crystal clear as to what you have to do. You may even have rectified it. You may even rectify your situation, by the end of 2021. If you do this work and you take yourself seriously, that self-love has to be there first and foremost. Check in with yourself. It's not something everybody has to know. It's a private thing. Deal with your shadow side, the stuff that you don't really want to advertise to everybody else. Fix yourself, heal yourself, love yourself, be forgiving, be gentle, and decide what you want to do with all of that wisdom. The choice is yours. You have the power. So that was it for the reading. Group number 4, I wish you all the best in your journey. It looks very promising from these cards. You're always supported by your angels and those in the heavenly realms. So go out and do your best. That's all anyone can ask of you. So thank you for tuning in with me. I wish you all the best for the year 2021. Be safe until we speak again. Bye.